Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's time for another UK travel vlog, and today I'm going to be taking you with me on my 2-day trip to the UK city of Bath. Bath is one of my favourite places to visit, and I really wanted to show you guys some of the top things I think you should do during your visit. We began by taking an early morning train from London Waterloo to Bath Spa Station, arriving in the late morning. One of the reasons why I love Bath so much is because it's such a compact city that you can easily reach everything on foot. For that reason, we decided to take a leisurely stroll through the city to our hotel, and we passed a number of famous locations on our way, including the Pump Rooms, the Roman Baths Museum, Sally Lunn's Eating House, and the Bath Abbey. Our hotel was nicely situated in the midst of everything, so it was really easy to access everything from where we were. Hey guys, so we've arrived in our hotel room. We are at the Bath Abbey Hotel. Got a really good deal for this on Rauchus, and no, this is not sponsored by Rauchus, but I just thought I'd mention it to save you guys a pound note if you're interested. With this deal you get a 1-night stay or 2-night stay, a meal in their restaurant, breakfast and late checkout, and a bottle of Prosecco for 2 people, and it was like £160. So we've got refreshments, we've got some cupboards here, we've got 2 chairs. We're on the ground floor as well because I've got the guide dog, and this hotel is actually dog friendly, not just for obviously assistance dogs, which is self-evident, but also for pet dogs as well. We've got a really big bed. It's really nicely done, very modern design. And the shower is massive. Hello. And we've got some shower gels here as well, and some little toiletries. So really happy with this actually, really nice hotel. After taking a short break in our hotel room, we then headed back out into the streets of Bath to visit our first site of the day, which happened to be the Jane Austen Centre and Regency Tea Rooms. The Jane Austen Centre, once the Bath residency of writer Jane Austen, is now an educational centre where you can learn more about the influence that Bath had on Austen and her writings. It also gives you a glimpse into her life and what Bath would have been like during the Regency period. Guided tours are also offered with the price of your ticket, as well as 10% off the Regency Tea Rooms upstairs. The Regency Tea Rooms is housed in what would have once been Jane Austen's bedroom. Now it's a cosy yet decadent place to have tea with beautiful views overlooking some of the architecture of Bath. If you're going to visit the tea rooms, I would definitely recommend trying the ladies' afternoon tea, which is a mix of sandwiches and scones. The scones here are definitely some of the best I've had in the UK, and believe me, I've had a lot of afternoon teas, so I would know. After gorging ourselves, we then headed back out into Bath to explore some of its prime examples of Georgian architecture, such as the Royal Crescent, the Circus, and the Georgian Gardens, which we spotted on our way back to our hotel. If you're an architecture enthusiast, then Bath is definitely somewhere you have to visit. A number of hours later, we then headed downstairs to our hotel restaurant to have dinner. Because we had a Rauchus deal, we had a 3-course meal, including a starter, a main, and a dessert. I think my favourite option was definitely the dessert. I had the raspberry creme brulee, and my mum had the rhubarb cheesecake. I tried hers as well, and both were very tasty, I have to admit. And then afterwards, we decided to head out back into Bath in the evening hours to take some nighttime photography and to explore the city when it was more quieter. With its many Georgian buildings and postcard perfect streets, Bath is always a beautiful city, no matter what time of day it is, but I find it especially so during the evening hours. During the walk, we also spotted a couple of ghost tours and evening tours of Bath. Although we didn't partake in this on this particular night, I have previously been on tours of Bath on previous trips to the city, and I would definitely recommend that you do so if you want to know more about Bath's rich history. Hey guys, so it is the next day, it is the morning, we've just been down to have breakfast, and now we're just packing up our case, and we're going to go head out and check out some of the local attractions and have another day in Bath until we leave, because I'm not leaving until later on in the late afternoon / evening, so we've got a long day. The hotel's been really nice, the breakfast was lovely today. and the manager's letting us keep our cases here until we come back to pick them up, which I think was really nice of him. So I definitely recommend coming here. It's a really nice place, very chilled out, and just nice customer service as well, which is what you want. So anyway, let's go and get ready to go out and explore. The city of Bath is a World Heritage Site, so of course you can expect to find many historical landmarks during your visit, and I'll be showing you one of Bath's most famous ones right now. Oh wait, let's change the music. This is Pulteney Bridge. Pulteney Bridge was originally built in 1774 and it crosses the length of the River Avon. The bridge is also a rarity in that it's one of 3 bridges in Europe that has shops on both sides. The bridge houses some very quaint shops, bakeries and cafes, so it's definitely worth your while checking them out before you head on down to the riverside and do what I'm about to recommend for the next part of what we did on our trip. If you do have some spare time on your visit and you want to see some scenic views of the River Avon and the surrounding Somerset countryside outside of Bath, then you simply must take a riverboat ride from the riverside walk next to Pulteney Bridge. We boarded the boat called the Pulteney Princess, which took us on an hour-long boat ride up the River Avon to Bathampton and back again on a round trip. During the boat ride, you'll be given a guided tour and hear about the history of Bath and the surrounding area, whilst you relax and enjoy the beautiful views of the River Avon and the riverbanks surrounding it. It's such a beautiful way to start the day, and we were very lucky seeing as it was very sunny and warm out on this particular day. It was so idyllic and lovely to be able to take some photographs and enjoy the surrounding countryside, and to get off the beaten track and to do something a little bit different on our trip to Bath. I really enjoyed this part of the trip, and I would highly recommend that you do this if you are someone who wants to relax and unwind and take a little bit of a break from the hustle and bustle of the city. No visit to Bath is ever complete without a trip to the Roman Baths Museum. Bath, or Aquasulis as it was named by the Romans, is famous for its natural flowing spring water. The Romans utilised this by building a large temple and bathing spot where people would flock to for healing, relaxation and rejuvenation, part of which still stands today in the Roman Baths Museum. What you see before you is all that remains of the ancient temple of Sulis Minerva. Free audio guides are provided during your visit, which will take you on an interactive and immersive guided tour of the baths. You'll learn more about the history of Roman bathing, as well as their spiritual beliefs and practices. You'll also gain an insight into the impact that Roman Bath had on Roman Britain. There are also tactile guides of some of the artefacts dotted around the museum that you can touch as well. It was such an incredible experience to see some of this ancient sites still preserved and to stand where hundreds of Romans would have once stood. Thermal water rises from the earth and is pumped into the baths just as it would have been back in ancient Roman times. It was one of the highlights of my trip to Bath, and it definitely has to be on your things to see list. After making a little cheeky stop at the Hans Georgian Tea Rooms for a delicious afternoon tea, hey, don't judge, we're on holiday, we then headed off to another of Bath's museums, the Fashion Museum. Of course, because I'm a fashion and style blogger, I was really interested to visit this place, and it did not disappoint. The Bath Fashion Museum houses a collection of impressive fashion artefacts dating from the 17th century to the present day. And it was really interesting to see some of the examples of the attire that people would have worn throughout the ages. You could also try on some garments yourself too if you fancied, which I did. Wow, safe to say I wouldn't suit this look. And to my delight, they also offered audio guides. Still having a few hours to spare in this beautiful city, we had a couple of cocktails before heading back into the centre of Bath and taking some time out to enjoy the beautiful scenery in the Parade Gardens, which is right next to Pompey Bridge. You do have to pay for a ticket to enter the gardens. An adult ticket will cost £2 and a concession ticket will cost £1. But you are open to use the gardens all day whilst they're open, and free deck chairs are also available on loan too. This is such a nice way to spend some time in Bath, to simply kick back and relax and enjoy the scenery, and it's even more pleasant if it's a warm day as well. All in all, it was a great way to end our trip to Bath before heading back to the station to get a train home to London. And that is the end of my trip to Bath. That's it for today's travel vlog. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't seen my previous travel vlogs, you can also check out my vlog of my trip to York and my vlog of my trip to Alnwick to see more examples of UK destinations. Thank you for watching.